discussion is going to focus on the trends and ideas in mine and mineral sector. As you all know that India has abundant minerals and mine, and there are different states, they have a different quality of mines and mineral, and there are efforts being made across the country for the exploration and for effective utilization of the natural resources that we have for the growth of our economy and ultimately for the growth of the citizen. So today we have a very strong panel, and I'll begin with the Brigadier Amar Singh Rathore ji. Since your organization is heavily invested in gypsum, which is one of ingredient for the cement, would you like to share your views, especially as to how you look at the exploration of these mines and minerals and the kind of opportunities that you see in the state of Rajasthan, sir?
Our organization is into gypsum, but after the amendment of 2015, gypsum has become, is now in the list of minor minerals, and the control of gypsum is on the state, and since then, no further mining leases are being issued. In fact, gypsum is today being mined under short-term permits, and khatedars have been given the rights, all those who apply for, and especially in the districts of Bikaner, Jaisalmer, Ganganagar, it is the short-term permits which are there. But prior to this, almost for the last, I would say, more than 5 decades, there are only 2 companies which were there into gypsum. One was Rajasthan State Mines and Minerals, State PSU, and second was our own company, FCI Aravali Gypsum. They were the only ones with the permits. There were a few other leases, in fact, but they were the major producers, and RSMM had almost 75% share, and balance 25% share was with FCI Aravali Gypsum. Ever since the 2015 amendment and classification of gypsum as a minor mineral, there are a whole lot of other players, or I would say it is in fact been taken almost out of the ambit of mining rules. It is now being, since it is a surfacial deposit, it is being taken out by the khatedars. But nevertheless, we are continuing with our share, and as on date, I think we are probably the single biggest producer of gypsum. But our focus is generally on now on the agricultural part of it, rather than providing ROM for cement. And as the speakers have already brought out, they are not getting quality, then they are looking for alternate sources. So it is, whereas we are supplying almost, I would say 4 to 5 lakh tons per annum to cement industry, but at the same time, our focus is on the agricultural part. But you started off with your talk with the amendments in MMDR Act, and it is here that I would like to just put forth my views. Ever since this amendment, in case of notified minerals, the auction is the only route for allotment of mines. And ever since the auction is there, and the percentages or the premiums are going up. In fact, in one of the iron ore mines, it has gone up to 400% in case of one of the Rajasthan mines only. Otherwise, 300 in case of rock phosphate, more than 100 in case of iron ore mines. So the question next arises is, why should the allocation be made to public sector units when the government is getting so much of revenue, so much of premium through private sector? Now, here I would like to put forth my views, and I'll state this with some rough facts. They are not totally calculated, but ever since this regime has been brought out, limestone mines are the ones, in fact, on the last count, I think 62 limestone mines have been auctioned all over India. And limestone is the ingredient which is, I think, more than 90% of cement, and 5% is gypsum. The premiums have gone up, but what has happened is the rates of limestone, which were 500, have today gone down by almost 33%. Gypsum, as I told you, it is already out of mining. New producers come. So the gypsum rates are almost stable or have gone up by, I think, 6 to 8% from 2015, this thing. And if you see cement, now the cement prices have again gone up by more than 30%. So the point is, if the limestone prices have not gone up, if the cement prices have not gone up, why have the end product prices gone up? And that is where is the catch. The new regime of auction is actually heading towards more of captive mining, whereas it has been made free. But what is ultimately happening is that only those players who have integrated plants are the ones who are willing to pay high premium. As a result, the MSME sector is getting adversely affected because the entire this thing is with the bigger players, the smaller players are getting affected. In case of iron ore, it is the integrated steel plants which have cornered the share, and sponge iron industry, which is otherwise using non-coking oil, which is abundantly available in India, but they are going down.
Right.
Now we are a fertilizer PSU. The story changes even further in fertilizer PSU. In all others like iron and ore or cement, there is adequate competition at the final downstream competition is there. Coming down to fertilizer industry, fertilizer minerals, India is almost importing 80% of rock phosphate and 100% of potash. Potash, it will still take some time, but when we talk of rock phosphate, efforts are on to increase the production. And all governments, all state governments are planning and going ahead with auctions. But fertilizer has got a different catch in the sense that while you may get higher premium, the end product, that is fertilizer, is again highly subsidized. In last 4 years, the potash and phosphorus, phosphatic fertilizer subsidy has gone up from 27,000 crores to 57,000 crore in 2 years. And this coming year, it is projected to be 1,33 crores. So if you get higher premium at the auction end, the same would be indirectly paid by the central government back in the form of subsidy. So with this, I would say there is indeed a necessity of public sector to continue in the mining because they are the check, and state governments would benefit by them because if they would be able to have a proper price discovery,
Right.
and if the price discovery is by them, the other players would not be able to manipulate the prices because as has been seen in limestone, the prices going down, it won't happen. The prices, and if the prices are higher, the premium which they are getting would be overall in the long term would continue to be higher.
Right, right.
So that is what I feel.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you, especially on the fact of that the price discovery and also having the visibility across your value chain.
Yes.
Right. So I'll go now to Mr. Singh, Mr. Sanjiv Kumar Singh from Hindustan Copper Limited. Sir, your organization, if you could share something from your organization perspective, especially on the mining capacity that you see existing mining capacity and also some of the closed mine and reopening of that. And also if you could focus a little bit on the copper mineralization that we all have been thinking about as to how those could be increased.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's my honor and privilege that I'm sitting along with so many learned personalities on this podium and with the hall fully packed. And I thank the Rajasthan government also, particularly DMG, who have been helping Hindustan Copper a lot. Hindustan Copper is one of the oldest companies, public sector units of this country. It was carved out of NMDC in 1967 with K3, the Rajasthan unit, K3 complex was formed, and the Hindustan Copper started from this. And we have 3 mining units, one Rajasthan, one in MP, district Balaghat, and the third one is in Ghatshila, Jharkhand state. And the fourth one is a plant in Navi Mumbai. It's a tolling plant. So these are the setup of Hindustan Copper. As you said, yes, copper, in fact, before starting, I should say that copper is a divine metal. All of us who are sitting here must be having at least 2 mobiles, and it has got 100 grams of copper in it. So copper is very important. We all are talking about green energy, electric vehicles. Hindustan Zinc is going to use a lot of electric vehicles in their underground mines. Copper is very important for that. It's the only conductive material which transports the energy in the best possible way. This is the technological part. So the uses of copper is becoming very important. And India doesn't have that much of reserves. India has got a very little reserves, 0.3% of the total world. 631 million tons reserves and resources with Hindustan Copper. Otherwise, we lack in the resource reserves also. And you can see very well that apart from this technological view, copper is very important from medical point of view. It has got antimicrobial properties, and we all prefer that copper utensils and all that. This was, as you know, the Hindustan Copper operates in 3 different states. Some of our mines were closed in Jharkhand because of unviability and because of the statutory clearances and others. Now Hindustan Copper is focusing more on exploration, number 1. We want to enhance our reserves. We want to prove, because the mines are getting deep, so we have more focus on exploration. We have hired MECL, we have given them a lot of work. Particularly in Rajasthan also, we have applied some different techniques also, geophysical, because in Rajasthan our deposits are such that a lot of pinching and swelling is there. So what happens, you're not sure about the continuity of the deposits. So we had MECL. MECL is doing 100% drilling for us, not 100%, majority of the drilling. So in 2-3 mines of Khetri, but in Rajasthan, they are going to do exploration. The exploration depth will be about 600 to 800 meters. Because already up to 0 meter, up to 300-400 meters it is established, but we are going beyond that and will be exploring our reserves. Confirming rather, you should say, because underground mines are going deeper, you have to produce the best quality of ore has already been mined out. But the best part of is that I like to say the Hindustan Copper is having a good quality of ore. Khetri ore has got a copper content of more than 1%. Our Malanjkhand mine, which is, I told you, is in Madhya Pradesh, that's the flagship mine of Hindustan Copper. Open cast, it was open cast, but now from next year it will be purely underground. Nowadays, this year it will be partially open cast, partially underground. We have already gone underground. It will be producing about 5 million tons at its peak capacity. And then from the Ghatshila that I mentioned, that Jharkhand, we are pursuing the government, the state government, the central government is helping us a lot in reopening those mines. And once we reopen those mines, by 28-29, we have targeted a production of 4 million tons from Ghatshila. I'm talking about the ore. But once these mines come up into operations, Hindustan Copper will be able to produce about 12.2 million tons by 29-30. That is the expansion plan as of now. But more focus is on exploration. Our prime objective is to confirm the ores, the quantity, and the copper content. Apart from this exploration, mining, we are having a lot of other issues also. For example, in Rajasthan, you know there is a scarcity of water. In Khetri, we do have, but the government of Rajasthan is helping us. They are converting that sewage water into the treatment plant, and then they will be supplying some water. My whole team from Khetri is here, and my head Khetri, Mr. Shree Kumar, is the executive director there. He's trying that at least he can supply water to the colony twice in a week. As of now, every 3rd or 4th day he's supplying water to our executives, employees who are there. So this is the level of the scarcity of water. So this is also one of the tough aspect, one of the biggest challenge, I should say. And what they have done in this period, they are digging up good sarovars. And one Amrit Sarovar has been dug in Khetri, purely by the resources of KCC. And they are now studying the quantum water which can be stored, the evaporation and all that. And we are trying to make up like this also, because we have plenty of land there. So these are one of the other challenges apart from the technological challenges, I should say. These are most of the time they are being neglected. But they become a very important thing because water is needed for beneficiation and other things.
Right.
So Hindustan Copper is focusing on exploration, reopening of the new mines. And apart from this, what we are doing, we are going with the academics also. We are going to sign a MOU with Indian School of Mines the next week. And then we'll be moving to IIT Kharagpur and Monash University, which is in Melbourne. Monash will be through IIT Bombay. So we are keeping academics also with us. That becomes very important when you have got these type of old mines, clumsy mines, I should say, and you are going deeper and deeper.
And then you are also focusing on the capacity building part, which is really, really
exactly.
important.
Skill development, the other part, it will come through the institutes only. And that is very important because deep mining and all this is not that easy. It looks quite simple, but it's not like that.
Absolutely. Now I'll go to Mr. Prem Kumar Jha. Sir, you come from Steel Authority of India. And so far we have spoken about the exploration and also about the copper exploration. Would you like to share especially something around the, ensuring the quality and productivity, also the profitability, because it's still an end user product. And also as to how we can use technology platform, because you also take care of technology, in order to ensure that the last mile consumer, or maybe whether it is B2B or B2C customer, you are able to provide services to end user very smoothly.
Thank you, Ujaley, and thank you, Economic Times. It's a proud privilege to be here among such a brilliant audience and eminent speakers. I think the questions are very relevant because exploration is one part, that is the upstream, but the midstream and downstream are very important. So basically, these are the natural resources that we have to consume. We have to use very honestly, very judiciously, because ultimately you are taking this at the cost of environment, and it has to be sustainable for future generations as well. And the reserves are not unlimited. We are not only the consumers, there are generations to come who have to consume it. So now, how best we can do this? The point is that this resources has to be used optimally and with the best efficiency. So operational efficiency, if you talk about, then you have to use technologies. Particularly, it's very heartening to listen to Hindustan Zinc. In the earlier lecture we had listened and viewed, and that they are using technology in a very good way. I think there are many more jobs, technological innovations have been done abroad, particularly Africa, Australia, and other places, where the modern technologies are being used to the extent that there is a minimal wastage, and the ecology and the environment is least impacted. So there, the different concerns that mining and this oil and gas issues are involving are basically the operational efficiency, then your safety and environment everywhere. And then, of course, the society, the customers at large, to whom you have to reach. Everywhere, if you use technology which is coming in a big way, like artificial intelligence, your edge computing, data analytics. Data analytics is the biggest boon, and nowadays, all colleges you find, engineering colleges, they will have a number of branches in computer science with data analytics, computer science with artificial intelligence, and all those, because the jobs are there. So this is an opportunity, that we have got resources available around us, the young resources, bubbling resources that they are ready to contribute. Now, with our elder generations that they have got a lot of operational experience in terms of the mechanics of mines, and in this mechanism, this experience has to be blended with the ideas of modern technologies, that is your edge computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, AL, and ML. So all these things are being implemented in a small ways here and there. In India, actually, we are we are talking much more than we are doing actually. So basically, there is some sort of lethargy or maybe, the doubt in ourselves that if we are using, whether we'll fail, we'll pass. We have to have belief that if somebody has done it, we must do it, and we will be doing, because we have to take it forward. This is the journey which will be going long way. So we have to believe, we have to do maybe some POC, or we have to visit places. Now, and it's a very, it's a very right time that people are sharing. Earlier generations, I think 10 years, 15 years back, the industries were not sharing the technologies, but now they know that collaboration is the power. Right. If we all together work together and we harness the best of technology, potential of technology, we will be all winning. We all will be winning. It's not only competition among ourselves, it is winning together. So this is the approach that we have to take. Like earlier I was listening to Bharat Petroleum, that they were telling they have got all fleet of vehicles having, vehicle tracking system with this fencing, geometric fencing as well. And then they have a control that if the truck or lorry doesn't reach to a particular, the gas station or maybe a petrol pump, it will not be unlocked. This is the beauty of the thing. Now you're able to change, you're able to see how far that delivery has reached our customers, and it cannot be any pilferage is not allowed. Right. So this is the potential of technology. So time is running short. It's a very interesting topic. Ujaley, I would have
no, you are absolutely right.
More time, but anyway, thank you for this opportunity. And
even in the previous panel discussion, Mr. Chitnis from ONGC and Mr. Sinha from Petroleum Institute, they all spoke about the benefit of the frontier technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other emerging technology, in order to not only having the visibility across the value chain, also in terms of reducing the cost of exploration, reducing the cost to find out the minerals, if you have some pattern in place. So now I'll go to Mr. Garg. Mr. Garg, during your presentation, very eloquently you share as to what kind of work your organization is doing. So now I would like to understand from you about some of the key projects and opportunities that you see in the state of Rajasthan, if you could share especially around that, sir.
Pardon? What about?
During your presentation, you spoke about in detail as to the kind of work that your organization is doing and some of the potential that you see in the state. Now I would like you to focus on some of the key projects that you are doing in this state and some of the potential that you see here.
Yes. As I have already said, that we are focusing in the northern part of Rajasthan, in particular Junjunu district, where we have already granted the mining lease by the state government, and we have already started the work of 3.8 million ton TPA cement plant, and it would be commissioned latest by March 24. Another one is we are also focusing in Jaisalmer district also. Director Saab is sitting here. We have already granted two mining leases. We have obtained one through auction process and one before auction process. But both leases are under litigation. So in Rajasthan, we are our management is very keen to expand our cement business in Junjunu and in Jaisalmer district. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. So far, Mr. Rastogi, we have been able to discuss about the benefit of the minerals that we have and how to explore. Also, on the copper side, we have spoken, Mr. Jha spoke about the role of technology as to how technology can come into picture and smoothen all the processes. And Mr. Garg spoke about the opportunity that he sees in the state of Rajasthan. I would like to understand from you how we can maximize the effectiveness in terms of the diverse stone that we see. And also if you could share some light on the plan, especially on the promotion, which is development plan and promotion of this particular sector.
Thank you. Very warm good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I wish to convey my sincere thanks to Department of Mines and Petroleum as well as ET for inviting me. As you rightly said, indeed, Rajasthan is the hub of all kind of dimensional stones, and I would say we are blessed that we have all type of stones, be it marble, granite, sandstone, slate, flaggy limestone, phyllite, etc., etc. Over 5,100 mining leases are in operation in Rajasthan, which is producing a whooping 51 million tons of raw stones. If we compare this figure with the figures of India, which is producing around 76, 77 million tons, that is an estimated figure. So our share is lion's share as far as stone production in the country is concerned. We have about 20,000 or rather more than 20,000 units which are spread all across the length and breadth of the state, which is into processing of stones, be it slicing it into the form of slabs or tiles, in form of some value addition for manufacturing various landscaping objects and all those things. So that way the sector is very diverse. I mean, no doubt about it. And we as we have a very well developed mining machinery sector also, the processing machinery also. So a strong base of craftsmanship as well. So you are rightly said, it is a very diverse sector. Now your question is how to maximize the effectiveness of this sector. I think in my view, to maximize the effectiveness of this sector, there is a need to increase competitiveness as well as sustainability of Rajasthan stone sector, considering the fact that the global marketplace is changing very rapidly. And in order to keep pace with the changing scenario, the changing market trends, we have to be very competitive as far as this sector is concerned. And we have to do so in a way, in a manner that which can derive economic growth, which can support social development, as well as minimize the environmental impact. Now the question arises again, how this effectiveness can be enhanced or increased. My personal view is we can increase the competitiveness by way of increasing or growing the market share of Rajasthan stones, particularly in the higher value international market. And we have to maintain the price competitiveness as well. Then we have to explore newer markets also. Because once we explore newer markets, then that provides us the opportunity of newer businesses. Then we have to build a very resilient, a cohesive and sustainable value chain, which involves all the players of the industry, be it a miner or a processor or exporter of the stones. Then technology is very important. I mean, we have to increase our productivity through infusion of latest technology in mining as well as processing, though in comparison to earlier days, now the technology in mining and processing is almost at par with the front-runner countries. So technology is again a very important aspect. In addition to technology, the skilling of manpower is also important. I think in my view, one more aspect is there, which is the value addition of products. Instead of exporting raw blocks, we should focus on value addition or exporting the finished goods. Right. So by these way, we can increase the, or rather maximize the effectiveness of this sector. I would like to add one more point, and that is related to the sustainability aspect. Basically, we have to demonstrate to our buyers, I am talking about especially the international buyers and the international community, about our commitment to sustainability and to project Rajasthan as a hub of responsible stone producer. So I think, in my view, those are the few points through which we can maximize.
And you are absolutely right. Going forward, this sustainability is going to be a very integral part of the discussion and the project. Now I'll go to Mr. Patil. Mr. Patil, even during your presentation, you had a very eloquent explanation about the work that Wonder Cement is doing, and some of the suggestion that you gave to the government also, some of the challenges that you face, you spoke about. But now I would like to understand from you, tell us about the cement, Wonder Cement plans to provide high quality, cost effective, time bound. These are three things that every customers actually, it could be B2B or B2C customer or G2C customer, whatever customer, but they need these three things on the go. So how are you ensuring that?
I think quality is again a perception. We all know that. And there is no end to meet the requirement. But as a part of our commitment to give best service and best product to our customer, I think there are a lot of initiatives taken from, I think we say, quarry to lorry. Means from the quarry where we do the mining operation to the lorry where the cement goes it. Every step, there is a strong control mechanism for checking the raw material, process, and of course, the finished product. The finished products have got certain guidelines by Bureau of Indian Standards, but our product quality are beyond the BIS standard. Because by the time it reaches to customer, the quality should not get deteriorated. We see that when the standards led by the Government of India or the BIS, and our standard has to be much, much higher than one. This is what we talk about the product quality. In terms of service, the service are our B2B, B2C, dealers, retailers, and sometimes our IHBs, individual home builders are there. How do we meet the requirement? We have a strong mechanism called on digital platform, that is a CRM. The CRM tells about the functioning of entire supply chain. So the material which is going to my dealer, from dealer to retailer to the end user, is it being perceived as a quality of the cement? Or it is just a product which is being packed in a Wonder Cement bag is spent it. So a lot of feedback mechanism is there. Those feedbacks in terms of service, in terms of quality, both are viewed very, very strongly. And I say that when quality doesn't go free of cost, there is some amount of cost is there. It is not that when I give superior quality at the lower price, there is an element of cost. But people have now visualized that one, what they are paying is a worth. There's a value versus worth. What I am paying for the cement, yes, I get better quality, better strength, reliability, and even a customer is looking at one, I need to complete my construction work, is able to get the required quantity of cement in right time. That is one thing. Second thing, there are a lot of dealers are asking value-added product. Just my friend said about that one. We are coming with wall care putty. The wall care putty is a new product. I think we are going to commission that plant maybe in a month or two. That is again the need which has come from the customer. We were only one segment making only cement, its quality is good. A lot of requirements are coming. The competition has gone beyond what we expected now. To meet the customer requirement, there's a continuous focus on quality, service, either to digital or through system. And last but not the least, the value-added product, what I said just now, there are some more products in the pipeline because people are coming with fastest completion of the construction.
Right.
Because there is no skill available, there are no contractors. How can we complete the construction work? Can we do something better? Can we do something precast building, or we do some improvement in the quality, further quality? Right. They can take out the shutter rather than waiting for a longer period so that they can complete the work and proceed. These are the initiatives are taken by Wonder Cement. And last but not the least, my friend also said about skill is very important.
Absolutely.
There is an acute shortage of skill. There are 130 crores people. We have people, but talent is not there. I think each one of us, we have to think out of the box, what is it we are going to do for the coming generation? And I used to ask my workers in the plant, what is your son doing that one? He's doing engineering. He's doing medical. But no, he's never saying that when he's doing the job of fitter or welder. Who is going to come and do that job?
Right.
This is the question for every industries. We have to think now, what is next? How are you going to build? How are you going to sustain? We talk about sustainability based on environment, climate changes. Who is going to run the investment? We are invested 40, 50,000 crore rupees. So that is a big challenge which I am seeing today.
Right.
Maybe we all have come from that legacy. In coming days, that is going to be the big
Absolutely.
challenge what I see.
And
now.
what you are saying, that government is very conscious of that. We do have now the sectorial council which has been given power to actually look at the different sector, be it the construction, skill development, IITs or ITIs, whatever. So, I mean, there are efforts being made. It will take some time. And you are absolutely right that there is shortage of skill and we need to address that. Now I'll go to Dr. Amardeep Saxena. Dr. Saxena, you come from the JK Lakshmi Cement. Would you like to share the kind of capacity that you have right now and also the potential that you see in the state, especially in terms of the mining exploration and some other numbers if you could share about, sir?
Definitely. Very good evening to all of you. And first of all, I would like to thank you for providing a platform and this August gathering that we have today. These are, certain opportunities, when we can really express ourselves. And as for JK Lakshmi Cement, definitely looking to the exploration part now, what we are emphasizing is on a rule of, or rather I should say it's a principle of 7 E's that we are actually emphasizing on. And to start with, there's first, of course, the exploration, then coming down to, estimation of reserves, then going to the actual evaluation of that, finally to the exploitation part, and then evaluation, then it comes to the efficiency of man and machine that we have and realizing our own potential. And then, of course, our engagement towards our nation, towards the industry as a whole. And finally, our contribution to economy and to our own EBITDAs. So that is where, we are trying to concentrate on that. And then, of course, the 3 R's, as Mr. Ujaley said right now. The objective of Lakshmi Cement Stone has been, to focus on the 3 R's, the reserves that we have in terms of, the geological deposits that we have, the resources, and of course, a very critical element that we are facing is the rejects. So the onus lies of, in converting this reject into a resource for future. And interestingly, when we started in 1982, we started with a 0.5 million ton capacity plant. And the estimated reserves at that time, it was only around 40 million tons. As on date, after 40 years, we have a reserve of 160 million tons, another 20 years to go with the current capacity. And to break the news, we have already mined out 125 million tons. So where does this, entire crux lies? It's the precise estimation of reserves. And that is where, the part of exploration, as we have already discussed in these sessions and the preceding sessions, the emphasis on exploration and that to a very precise exploration will pave the way for our future development. Now coming to our own potentials that lie within the state, and as far as where we stand now, JK Lakshmi, we already have a mother plant at Sirohi. The other sister unit is at Udaipur Cement Works. We have got 2 more blocks of almost 1,000 hectares in Nagaur, where we have already started the preliminary works, and we are likely to come up maybe in a couple of years, and we'll be adding 2 more plants to our cap. And the potential, as far as if we think of Rajasthan as such, of course it's immense, because as a geologist and having contemplated the geological layouts, the reserves, the types of deposits that you have, I think it's nothing has been done in terms of coming out with a reserve that is commercially exploitable. I would not say that we are at the preliminary level, we are at a very juvenile level. The potential is very high, and we at JK Lakshmi still, we are looking to 2030 with a 30 million tons at 2030. So that is how we are planning, and within the state, I think we are well placed, and we look to a very bright future with the state of Rajasthan and, of course, the Department of Mines and Geology.
Right. I think we have completely exhausted our time. So thank you so much for being such a wonderful panelist and sharing your views on minerals and mine and the kind of opportunity that the state of Rajasthan is able to provide, and also each of yours individual organization, the kind of wonderful work that is doing in order, especially for exploring the mineral for the growth of the economy, growth of the country. Thank you so much. Thank you.